KGVO Missoula, KGVO FM Frenchtown, AM 1290 and 1015 FM. Sports Talk Tonight and streaming online at Newstalk, KGVO.com.
Well, Denny, it's about 80 degrees outside, my friend, on a balmy Wednesday evening. It's Sports Talk Tonight weather.
It's what you call, let's see, where am I? There I am. It's what you call ridiculously perfect, man.
Oh, man.
And perfect and only getting better from here. It's going to be quite a warm weekend.
It is. The temperature is rising. So is our game here in this studio, Denny.
First day of June.
It is Sports Talk Tonight, live from the KGVO studios. Remember, we are streaming worldwide on Newstalk, KGVO.com. Follow us on Twitter at Sports Talk Back. Our phone number is 406-721-1290. Give us a shout. Remember, on the AM side of the dial, 1290, FM side of the dial, 101.5. Well, Denny, how was your weekend? Let's just start off with that. What'd you do? Anything
For
exciting?
Memorial, yes, Jennifer and I went to Montana's largest flea market. St. Regis, Montana flea market. Yeah, that's quite a spectacle.
Was it nuts?
It was. There was a lot of people there, and St. Regis gets well prepared for this deal because you don't have to go all the way to the city park if you don't want to, because they've got shuttle buses right across from. There's a couple of convenience stores, gas and grocery stores right there on the corners. You come off the ramp into St. Regis, and so you can hop a shuttle bus there. We figured, well, we might as well just drive on down toward the park and then see what happens. And so,
is that where it's set up at the park?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, city park all over that city park. And we pulled up to an area that it appeared to be paid parking, and it was a contribution thing. And the gal said, we're asking any contribution you can spare. And I said, okay, what's the contribution for? She gave me a list of letters. I don't know, the BMUBs, but I figured, hey,
Mineral County Sheriff's Department.
Whatever your cause is, here's $5, and I will go park now. And so we parked and just walked around and looked at all the stuff. It's kind of like a small town county fair without the rides, because you've got all these vendors set up selling, well, just about anything you can imagine.
A lot of homemade and handmade stuff.
Some, but just a lot of items that kind of look like, let's see what's in the attic before we go set up a tent at the St. Regis flea market. But that's part of the fun of it. You don't quite know what you're going to get, anything and everything, what to expect. And yeah, a lot of artistic things, a lot of carved, a lot of if you wanted a bear coat tree, a carved bear coat tree, one of those type things, you can get one of those, or a little cast iron skillet, for example. We bought one of those and stuff, and so that was really kind of the highlight, the extent. Well, the car, we got back in the car, got done with the flea market, and the car just kind of pulled us towards Spokane. For a day trip of adventure, because it was still pretty early by the time we got done with the flea market.
Okay.
So, yeah, and that was all on Sunday. Monday was kind of I got to get after these weeds before they start, coming through the windows and vines and lifting the house off of its foundation and stuff. And yeah, so that was kind of a day. And you?
Well, I was up at Seeley Lake. We went up there on Saturday. Got friends of Halco's have a cabin up there, and we stayed Saturday and Sunday night. Played a little golf on Sunday. Got a little wet. But not too bad. It's one of, Memorial Day anymore, unless you've got a solid weather forecast going on, people aren't out there risking a whole weekend worth of camping.
Right.
Just because it's so sketchy.
Yeah.
So things like a flea market or having something else to do ends up usually doing pretty well.
I was happy for them. I mean, I don't think it was what you would call stellar weather. Temperatures were below normal, but not a lot below normal, and a few showers blew through and stuff like that. But I think overall, weather-wise, they were okay. It was kind of a tweener, nothing great, but nothing to the point where you got cold and frustrated and mad at the weather or anything like that. So,
well,
I hope they did well. It's a huge deal.
The weather is coming. It's supposed to be in the 90s starting this weekend. And Denny, I'll be gone next week.
Right.
Member of the band will be here, Eric Tabor, but it's supposed to be 110 degrees in Las Vegas next week.
Yes, we'll find out firsthand ourselves, because I'm going to be gone the 25th, I believe, or the week of the 25th. I think that's like the What is that day I'm gone? Gurn's the 20. I'm gone the 29th.
In the 20s.
You're gone the 8th. I'm gone the 29th. I don't know what the show is going to do without us.
And I'm kind of upset. We bring up Eric Taper's name. Being a member of the band requires you to, I guess, let band members know what you're doing. And
I would think, and given what you've told me so far, and you'll tell everybody what's going on there, but I hope he's on board to fill in for you.
Well, that's not what I'm talking about.
I know that's not what you're talking about, but I'm purely selfish motives thinking about what about me.
Oh no, he'll be here, but
okay, if you say so.
Apparently, he's embarking on a solo career because he's not telling us. Anyway, congratulations, Eric. Eric Tabor got engaged here the last couple of days.
Oh, excellent!
It was either in Cambodia, Vietnam, or Thailand. I don't know which one. I'm going to say Thailand because I do speak the language, but.
Any particular reason, is okay? Just,
no idea.
Just a trip.
No idea.
Well, congratulations to Eric.
Yeah. So, member of the band.
He should bring the fiancée in, and we'll make her part of the house band, too.
And where's the band going for the bachelor party? That's all I want to know.
Well, sure. Yeah, we ought to be a part of that, I would think.
Hey, some more, I don't know if your head's been in the sand, Denny, or not. I'm assuming that it wasn't and hasn't been. Some more big news from Montana Grizzly football.
What a great story that was. That was an excellent article. I mean, I got done with that article, and I'm just, I'm sure some might say, well, make up your mind, kid. Are you going to go this school, or what are you going to do? I'm just rooting for the kid now after reading that article, and boy, you talk about the resolve to get out of what he saw as a bad situation. I mean, for a potentially lifelong bad situation to get out of that, determined to go a different road.
Lamariel Taylor,
okay.
From East St. Louis, I guess originally, really, when Chevy Chase turned off the road on vacation and got his tires. I mean, it's that kind of place.
Yeah, it's tough suburb of the Chicago area, I believe.
Yep. Had some uncles that were in San Diego. He decides, hey, I'm going to get out of this element for my last couple years of high school. He moves to Mission Bay, or starts attending Mission Bay High School. Turns into a 4.0 merit, kind of a scholarship. He's already got what did they say? He'd already aced some science tests, and he already has scholarships to something out of high school. Just how well he did on these tests.
Well, I think every school that they mentioned that he had an offer at, very prominent, well-known schools, Duke jumped out. Not because they're a football power, but that's not an easy place to get to academically. So
Fordham, Indiana, Syracuse.
Excellent.
72 catches, 1,516 yards, 23 touchdowns. And he decides out of those 5 to go to UMass. Mm-hmm. And he said it was more had to do with the head coach, just Mark Whipple,
right,
who was with UMass, went to the NFL, came back. And one of those kids where they just, I don't know if he was homesick, he didn't like that part of the country. They didn't really delve into that, but decides that, and it's weird. I'd like to talk to Justin Green, the recruiting coordinator for University of Montana, and find out exactly how this came to be.
Yeah, that one's got to be a great story
because the kid's got to contact the coach, if I'm not mistaken. And however that happened, he is now a Montana Grizzly, and he'll be here. I'm assuming he'll be here this summer. 6'2", 195-pound wide receiver, and he just adds to the list of current wide receivers. We have 20 wide receivers on the depth chart right now, Denny.
Wow.
A couple of seniors, four juniors, 3 sophomores, and then you've got freshmen. Kobe Eaton, Justin Calhoun, Jerry Louis McGee, Colin Bingham, Lamariel Taylor, and then the red shirts the guys that they recruited out of high school coming here. Mm-hmm. Samuel Akeem, Brennan Corbin, Jed Nagler, Darian Nash, Nolan Thompson, Samori Toure. I mean, Denny, if half of these kids pan out, we're going to be set.
And getting back to the newest one, Lamariel Taylor, even though his life path took him to UMass for season, he will come in as a freshman.
He'll come in with 4 years to play.
Yeah. We can't redshirt, but I mean he will come in as a 4-year player, which is pretty interesting too.
Because he's dropped down from so he doesn't have to sit out,
Yeah.
which is
that was
which is
another
nice.
thing about the article. I'm reading and go, oh, man, I forgot UMass
Yeah.
moved up, as you will.
Denny
Yeah.
forgot about that,
Yeah.
too. I was like going, what's going on
Wait
here?
a minute. So
How's
they're
this
all
working?
excited about this kid, but he's going to have to sit out a year. Oh, no, wait a minute. He dropped down.
Yeah.
And they've been FBS, who knew, for 3 years.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe an example of one of those schools that not necessarily like Idaho, but you kind of go, are you sure you guys should have made this move?
Yeah. Yeah, sitting there in the middle of the pack towards the bottom, that's for sure. Sports Talk Tonight, brought to you in part by Orange Street Food Farm, locally owned and operated grocery store featuring the freshest fruits and vegetables, fresh meats, and a great beer and wine selection. And by Grizzly Liquor, located downtown next to the Iron Horse. Big Sky, big selection, and online at grizzlyliquor.com. Denny, we have a new sponsor. They're going to be our guest sponsor coming up here.
Who would be wacky enough to sponsor this show? Let's find out.
Well, our guests going forward are going to be brought to you by Parkside Credit Union. We like to say yes. Grand opening this Friday at their Brook Street location next to Applebee's.
Well, welcome, Parkside Credit Union. We're thrilled to have you.
You bet.
Appreciate that.
You bet. Denny, you got some trivia, don't you?
I do, and I forgot to ask you to hand me the phone. I mean, we're going to have to do like...
Hold on.
Yeah, we're going to have to do... Gurnsey breaking the microphone here while he hands me the phone.
Oh.
Thank you.
That was tougher than it should have.
Run that string between the two Quaker Oats boxes.
Here,
there
let me
you
hold the antenna.
go. There you go. Let's pretend we're talking on our wristwatch phones to each other, Gurns. We do have Sports Talk Tonight trivia. That is brought to you by Fuddruckers and Happy Days Car Wash. Things are fudtastic when you order a burger at Fuddruckers, whether it's beef, buffalo, elk, Kobe beef. They've also got chicken and fish. Whatever you order, buns made from scratch, fresh every single day right there. You get to go top it yourself. You go over to those prep stations and just have at it to make it exactly the way you like it, or, with so many choices, experiment for that matter. And we want to remind you again about, still fairly new, the Game Changer, which is your half-pound beef burger, cheddar cheese, beer-glazed grilled onions, chili, and topped with a hot dog. How about that, Gurns? The Game Changer, man.
Love it.
Wide variety of local microbrews and fabulous milkshakes, too. All at Fuddruckers on North Reserve in Missoula. Also, we have a $10 gift certificate to Fuddruckers. We have a gift card for the Works Car Wash. They're not messing around here. Brent and the crews at Happy Days Car Wash want you to have the Works. Happy Days on Brooks across from Hastings, also on Brooks out by Guest House Inn and Suites. Voted Missoula's favorite again, the latest Missoulian Readers Poll, and you can use this gift card at either location. The Works. And also, from our friends over at Sport Clips, it's good to be a guy. Sport Clips Haircuts in Missoula at 3850 South Reserve Street over in the Mackenzie River Pizza Cabela's area, right over in there. This is a gift card, which is cool because it looks like an admission ticket to a sporting event. It's a gift card for a free haircut for new clients and $5 off the MVP haircut experience for returning clients. That's from our friends at Sports Clips. So if you know the answer to trivia, 721-1290 is the number to call. That's 721-1290. Well, the Montana Grizzlies have one. If you had to guess, this is not the trivia question. If you had to take a wild guess, how many Big Sky Conference titles total the Montana Grizzlies have won over the years? Would you have a
Big Sky?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, football includes
wouldn't.
Lady Grizz basketball.
Well, it includes everything since 1964.
I'll go with 60.
Yeah, I think I would have been in. There's 110.
Holy.
Yeah, but I probably
Handball?
would have. Correct.
Yeah.
Which I think was a national title, wasn't it? Grizzlies have won 110 Big Sky Conference titles since the infant days of the Big Sky. We're going back to about 1964 here. And, well, it had to start somewhere in 1964. Montana's first Big Sky Conference championship was in A, wrestling, B, women's track, or C, men's golf. 721-1290. Had to start somewhere. Montana's first Big Sky Conference championship was in A, wrestling, B, women's track, or C, men's golf. Who will know? 721-1290, Gurns.
Well, hopefully we'll have an answer for you guys out there in Radio Land when we come back. This is Gurnsey and Bedard on Sports Talk Tonight.
Sports Talk Tonight on KGVO.
Missoula Sports.
Every second of every day.
We are back. Sports Talk Tonight with Gurnsey and Bedard, live from the KGVO studios. Denny, what do we got there on the line?
We have our contestant in Sports Talk Tonight trivia. That would be James Peterson of Missoula. How you doing tonight, James?
Good.
You ready for some summer-like weather as we roll into June here, man?
I am.
All right. Hey, the Montana Grizzlies have won 110 Big Sky Conference titles over the years. Since the infant days of the Big Sky back in 1964, it had to start somewhere. That was their first. Montana's first Big Sky Conference championship was in A, wrestling, B, women's track, or C, men's golf. What do you think there, James Peterson?
I think it's men's golf.
Yeah, it was. The six guys, Bill Rugemer, Gary Kopervika, Ken Newgard, Gary Peck, Don Waller, and John Warren. They were all from Montana. They played under head coach Ed Chinsky, and they teamed up on their home course. They beat teams from Idaho, Gonzaga, Idaho State, and Montana State, and that was the first Big Sky Conference title, and we've got a companion story we'll get to in a couple of seconds here, but it was indeed men's golf. I wasn't sure if anybody would know that right off, James, but you nailed it. You were ready.
Yeah, I'm a genius.
Yeah, I know it. I know.
That makes two of us,
yeah,
James.
Gurns has taught you well. Well, we really appreciate you being part of the Sports Talk Tonight family, James. I got your mailing address info, and we'll get your prize package mailed out to you, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much for listening. All right, James Peterson, our latest winner. Should we go ahead and the reason I brought that up?
Oh, yeah, Denny.
Is another great article. My thanks to Joel Carlson. I love Joel Carlson's work, Sports Information Department, University of Montana. And he's talking about over 50 years ago, the one-year career of golfer Bill Rugemer. That could have just been enough right there because he was part of the first Big Sky Conference Championship at the Missoula Country Club. That was over 50 years ago, spring of '64, the inaugural year of the newly formed Big Sky Conference. Montana, who is now racked up 110 league championships, they were looking for their first one. And those guys, Bill Rugemer, Gary Kopervika, Ken Newgard, Gary Peck, Don Waller, and John Warren, they were all from Montana. They played under Coach Ed Chinsky. That is a legendary coaching name in Grizzly sports. They got together on the home course. They beat Idaho, Gonzaga, Idaho State, and Montana State. In fact, they beat the Vandals by 5 strokes, which I guess that's not a total blowout, but in golf team play like that, that's not a bad win. Got their first Big Sky Conference championship in any sport, and quite the distinction there. And we bring this all up because one of the members of that team, Bill Rugemer, a successful banker throughout his career.
Billings native.
Yep. Long had an association with the Grizz through a financial gift that benefits the UM women's golf program. Ensures his legacy will be even greater than owning the first entry in the department's Big Sky Championship annals. It was a $100,000 grant, and the bulk of that will pay off the golf team's new indoor practice facility, which is out at the Ranch Club. The 1,500-square-foot building will now be known as the Bill Rugemer Indoor Golf Facility, which is a long name. So, and thanks. Who did you get a hold of? Jared Amos?
I did.
Yeah. Thanks to Jared Amos for making sure I pronounced Bill Rugemer's name correctly. So we appreciate that.
If you want to try to get a hold of Greg Sumberg or Dan Ingram for that matter, good luck.
Speaking of golf.
Call somebody who knows. That would be Jared Amos.
Yeah. The Golf Over Montana tour is continuing. Is that correct? We don't want to talk out of school behind the backs of some of our colleagues, but
no, it is. They're down in Hamilton today, and then they go.
We speak of the Grizzly Scholarship Association,
and I don't know the order of this. I want to say that it's Helena tomorrow, and then Butte on Friday. Could be the other way around, but I think it's Helena, and then finish it off with Butte America over there, Lady of the Rockies.
Yeah, I do believe that's where it wraps up, but I'm not positive. So I hope that's going well. We've got to get those guys in this summer so they can talk about their fundraising efforts and all of the projects and activities that go on when the seasons are a little quiet within University of Montana sports, which they are, right now that track is concluded. congratulations to our track athletes. Nobody made it to nationals, but some pretty impressive performances there.
Boy, you're right, Denny, and way to segue into that. That was pretty good. Over there in Lawrence, Kansas, University, which was weather marred, by the way. They had to do some of the events indoors, which is kind of a shame.
It's like that Roger Miller song, "You can't roller skate in a buffalo herd." You can't have a track meet in a tornado, which they were concerned about there for a while, I believe.
Yeah, they were, and not to say that had any effect on the outcomes of these deals, because everybody's competing in the same venues. But
I thought I might get more props for working Roger Miller into the Sports Talk Tonight show, but that's okay. Continue.
Is that the singer?
Oh boy,
there is a Roger Miller orchestra.
That's right. We're skipping a generation here. I forgot.
Yeah. Sophomore Jensen Lilliquist placed 14th in the javelin, and junior Sammy Evans placed 18th in the long jump. They were not quite good enough. You need to be top 12 to get to nationals, but still a good showing. 9 athletes down. 9 or 10.
I want to say 10.
I think it was 10.
It was the second most in the conference. Northern Arizona had the most.
You bet. And just a really nice job this year by the UM men's and women's track team and head coach Brian Schwain.
Yeah, indeed.
Hey, Denny, I'm not gonna use this as my stupid athlete of the week, but there was a Johnny Manziel sighting. Now, you are, in your other life, you are a country music DJ.
I am, yes.
I mean, you are. So, Johnny Manziel was, "I'm getting ink on a plane," to parody Dierks Bentley's "Drunk on a Plane."
Yeah.
And Johnny was probably drunk as well.
Probably.
There's a picture of him that he sends out.
This is going to be really goofy, and yet it's not the stupid athlete of the week, folks. That could be the most remarkable part right there.
It's just a guy that's totally lost it.
I'll say.
There's a picture of him with his hat on backwards, looking very gaunt, by the way, and skinny, getting tattooed while he's flying on a private airplane. And it looks dumb. It looks pretentious. It looks like, look at me and what I can do on a private airplane. I'm so cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, so there was a Johnny Manziel. He's not. There's going to be one every week, and I'm going to find it.
And no matter how many stupid things he does as he goes through the rest of his life, he probably somehow, through all the trials and tribulations and all the nonsense, managed to get his hands on so many millions of dollars that it just doesn't matter, at least for now.
Yeah, and it's and the money that he made in football probably pales in comparison to the money that his family has, which is the root of the whole problem to begin with. But that's for another day.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
what is the word they use for that now? It slipped me.
like the kid that got arrested down in Mexico.
Yeah, that one.
Oh yeah,
that word.
Yeah, can't remember.
It'll come.
It'll come. Hey, another thing that bugs me: can an athlete flex his muscles and get super excited and have any less muscle than Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors? I mean,
oh, come on now. Guy's in shape.
I mean, yeah, so was Charles Barkley.
I don't know about that.
You've got this really cool team with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, and they can just rain down on the threes, and they end up winning that series against the Seattle Supersonics, Thunder.
Never let it go, man.
But boy, then you got guys making plays, draining threes, and just acting like idiots, and it just makes you not even want to root for that team. I can't stand it.
I had a feeling when Oklahoma City went up 3-1, and in my mind it was either, okay, Oklahoma City is going to win this thing 4-2, or they're going to lose it 4-3. It was that I figure you're up 3-1. You go back to Golden State for a game, and
they're going to win.
There's not a lot of pressure on you. You can play pretty loose that game, but that doesn't mean that you're going to win. And it was a good game. I mean, they kept it close, but they didn't win. So now it's 3-2, and it goes back to Oklahoma City, and now just all the pressure is on the Thunder, because I'm thinking they're not going back to Golden State and winning a second game on the road in this series. So either win it 4-2, or you're going to lose it 4-3, and that's what happened.
And I actually watched the last couple games of that. Russell Westbrook is one of the most dynamic players in the NBA.
Yeah, got a little selfish, but
in Game 6, He had like 5 turnovers in the last minute and 10 seconds of the game. And then the game 7, I don't know how many times he's going to try to dribble drive down the lane and get the ball stripped, put up just a bad shot when you've got one of the best shooters in the NBA, Kevin Durant, just kind of sitting off there minding his own business.
And it wasn't like the shot clock was running down and it was sort of a panic situation. It was just, he shot.
I think it was not a panic situation that turned into a panic.
Yeah.
They kind of forced a...
And I guess I didn't watch the game closely enough to think, boy, the Thunder should have won this. Was it a shoulda, woulda, coulda? But sure, some of those threes they took were going to be contested, but I think a lot of them were uncontested. So they were running their offense pretty well. But if you miss 13 threes in a row on the road against a team like that, you're probably going to have trouble winning the ball game.
I cannot believe Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, how quickly they can get off a shot. I mean, Steph Curry will just pull up from anywhere. Klay Thompson comes off screens, and he's running full speed. He gets and it's got to be a good pass. He gets the perfect pass. He stops and plants the feet, and he's up in a hurry, and he's draining them. Mm-hmm. Pretty good for a kid from Washington State.
Yeah, and sometimes, Steph Curry, who's not, he's not short, but he's not a real tall guard. What is he in that?
Like 6'2"
range?
Yeah.
But, you watch him, if he didn't have a little space between him and his defender, it's like, man, a guy 5'5" could block that shot. It's like it's coming out of his, like he's got a fanny pack on or something that's coming down from the waist area somewhere. But it is just so quick.
Yeah, it is
kind of unconventional, but fun to watch him shoot it. And Klay Thompson too. It's a different style, but he's a lot longer. He's a longer, leaner type player. His is fun to watch too.
Well, and the best thing that could have happened for the Cleveland Cavaliers, who I will be rooting for, because I like LeBron and I hope they can win one for Cleveland.
I would like to see the city of Cleveland win a title.
Having Golden State go to 7 games and have the LeBron rest the legs will be a great help to them. Denny, I'm going to put you on the spot. It starts in Golden State. It starts tomorrow night.
Right.
I'm writing this down. What is your prediction? We'll talk about this when I come back.
All right, good, because we got to go to break and I need to think about it. But I get one free question before I give my answer.
Okay.
And that is, now, are we back to the 2-3-2 format, or is it still 2-2-1-1-1?
I believe it's 2-2-1-1-1.
Okay.
But I'm going to look that up.
All right.
I'm going to look that up.
That will affect my answer.
When we come back, you think on this, we'll have the picks here for the NBA Finals like anybody cares on Sports Talk Tonight with Gurnsey and Bedard.
Sports Talk Tonight, live from the KGVO studio.
Missoula Sports.
Sports Talk Tonight with Gurns and Bedard. Everything you wanted to know about the format of the 2016 NBA Finals. And Mr. Google.
I thought they had gone back to that, but I wanted to make sure.
Mr. Google, 2-2-1-1-1. And we say that 2 games will be played at Golden State, then 2 games will be played in Cleveland, then one and
then we go to all the if necessary stuff. Yeah.
1 Golden State, 1 Cleveland, 1 back to Golden State. What be your prediction?
Well, I think it's going to be very similar to the Western Conference Finals, where Cleveland is going to take 1 out of 2 at Golden State. They're going to come home and... Let's see. Am I going to have them sweep? It's going to be another 3-1 deal. Cleveland will sweep at home and go up 3-1. It comes back to Golden State 3-2. Returns to Cleveland. Cavaliers win 4-2.
Denny, I think you're exactly correct.
Wow.
In fact, I think that, and I'll go one further, I think Cleveland's going to win the first game.
Okay. That's what Oklahoma City did.
Yep. Cleveland will win the first game. Golden State will win the second. Cleveland will win the third and the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Golden State will win the fifth, and Cleveland will wrap it up at home with the sixth, 4-2. Let's just get
that would be great for the Cleveland fans.
It would.
That is a Cleveland Cavalier happy place right there. So,
and you know what? I don't care what any.
And I like both teams, so I don't have a problem with who wins. But I'll go with that.
Aside from whatever you think about the Cleveland Cavaliers, LeBron James, the only thing the guy does that's even somewhat annoying is he complains about the referees a little too much for my liking. He whines. Although he probably is the most fouled and hacked on athlete in the world.
It probably gets to you after a while, and you kind of take it out on the officiating from time to time.
I mean, the guy's a good family man. He's charitable. He's funny. I don't know if you saw him in a recent movie he was in. I can't remember the name of it.
No.
Funnier than heck. Very self-deprecating.
Yeah.
The only thing you could throw out there was when he announced that he was making the move from Cleveland down to Miami, which I don't think was his idea necessarily.
Televising that deal and I'm taking my talents to South Beach kind of became an annoying catchphrase. That wasn't real classy, but you're right. There was probably an entourage that was trying to promote that deal.
He did come back though.
Yeah, he did, and I think they've got a legitimate chance. I mean, it's last year's series. Golden State, I think, won it in 5. I mean, it wasn't like a cliffhanger series or anything like that. I think it's nice to see the rematch with teams at full strength because by the time they got to the finals, Cleveland was without Kevin Love and they were without Kyrie Irving, and that's I didn't realize that Kevin Love led the NBA in rebounding. I knew he had a lot of different strengths, real versatile player, but to not have a guy like that in your lineup for a championship series, that's pretty tough. And Kyrie Irving, I don't know that he's in the Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, kind of stratosphere, but pretty darn good player.
Well, and both teams extremely deep. And you've got guys coming off the bench for Cleveland that could start on a number of NBA teams. At Golden State as well. You've got the 3-point shooting of Golden State, which led the NBA this year, and then you've got LeBron James, who is arguably still the best all-around player in the NBA,
and they're finishing pretty strong. It's kind of funny when you look at Golden State, and they set a record for wins during the regular season, which was I believe 73. So they only lost 9 games during the regular season, and in the postseason here, they've lost 5. I believe. So, whereas as Cleveland, 55 wins, I think 55 regular season wins, that's not sensational. It's good, but it's not, it's not like
73.
73
and 9.
73 and 9, and in the playoffs they are 12 and 5 or something like that so far.
And then Cleveland rattled off.
Cleveland went
8, 9, 10 in a row or something like that.
Cleveland is like 12-2 in the playoffs, but I think they had I think some of their struggles were earlier in the season. That's why I say to me they seem to be finishing a little bit stronger and maybe playing a little bit better than Golden State, or maybe the postseason competition was not as good as what Golden State has faced.
Well, and you said that right. You got that right, Denny. They are playing better, and they bring it back to a meeting they had about a month ago, a team meeting. They kind of aired it out and really kind of banded together as brothers, band of brothers. Mm-hmm. And I like the Cavs. I think they're the hotter team right now, and I think there's some chinks in the Warriors lineup.
Could be good. Should be exciting. One thing we did not do last week, we were going to review our Preakness picks because we did the Kentucky Derby. I don't know what we're going to do next week. You're not here. I might have to pick Belmont Stakes winners for you. I'm not sure, but we made our picks for the Preakness, the second leg of horse racing's Triple Crown, and no, there will not be back-to-back Triple Crown winners because Nyquist did not win. I didn't pick. I picked the winner, Gurns, in the Preakness. I picked Exaggerator to win, and I picked Nyquist to finish second. Nyquist finished third, and
Cherry Wine, which I did not pick. I picked Fellowship to finish third, and Fellowship finished 10th, I believe. Well,
10th out of 11. So
I couldn't have picked much worse than the Kentucky Derby.
You had, for those who were not listening, you had the worst Kentucky Derby picks in the history of horse racing.
14th, 15th, and 20th place.
Yeah. But you did much better in the Preakness.
I did. I picked Fellowship to finish third as you did, Denny, and that was because of the fellowship that we share.
Yeah.
to place or finish second, I picked Awesome Speed, which is in a direct relation or correlation to me in college. And cherry wine, because who doesn't like a little cherry wine every once in a while?
Exactly.
Being we're close to the Flathead and it is cherry season.
Yeah. I wouldn't pick Awesome. I don't think you should put such a burden on your horse by giving a name that almost, it be like naming your horse winner every time or something. I think awesome speed. So I had to stay away from that one, but at least I got the winner right. I picked Exaggerator, and Exaggerator won it. So
winner every time, kind of like some games at the fair. You're a winner every time.
Winner every time.
As long as you keep pumping the money in there.
Don't name a horse like that. Give them less committal names or less arrogant and overconfident names. Yeah.
Sports Talk Tonight brought to you in part by Bell McCall Ford. Great selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. On sale now, well-equipped new 2015 Ford Focus. Save $4,580, only $16,995. And by Jerry Wessel's Tire Center, locally owned Les Schwab Tire Center provides the best tire value promise. Visit them online at jerrywesselstirecenter.com. Denny, why don't we move it on down? I want to know your opinion on professional sports in Las Vegas. There have been, NHL just announced that there will be a team in Las Vegas, a hockey team, National Hockey League.
Is that an expansion team or is that a team relocating from somewhere?
That's a darn good question. Mm-hmm. I don't know the answer to that.
Because the NFL chatter is about the Raiders becoming, I don't know, they'd be the Las Vegas Raiders or what they'd be. But that's the NFL chatter, at least a little bit.
That's the NFL chatter, and it's actually gaining some steam. Mm-hmm. Las Vegas is all on board with it. I see that a lot of the owners in the NFL are now approving of putting a franchise there. The only reason why there's not been an NFL team there or any other professional team for that matter, there's minor league baseball, is it because you can gamble in Las Vegas. But people, truth be told, I can get on the internet tonight and make professional sports wagers from the state of Montana.
Sure.
I mean, I know people. It happens.
I know it's not right in the town, but let's use like Atlantic City as an example. You can toss rocks at about 5 or 6 professional franchises from there. So it's
sure.
What's the big difference? I thought maybe at least for a football club. I don't know so much about hockey in terms of what you need for a following, but I thought it might just, if nothing else, had something to do. I mean, Las Vegas is not a small city, but it's not a huge city. I didn't know if the population base was enough to sustain a pro football team. If you're moving into Las Vegas, then you are banking on what? Half the crowd being tourists.
Sure.
At least.
Sure.
You're not banking on your population base of 1.2 million, let's say, or
sure.
whatever. You are counting on all those hundreds of thousands of people in those hotels who they either just want to see a pro football game or they are in Vegas for the weekend to cheer on their club. It's going to be one of those things. It's like if you watch the Arizona Cardinals on TV and they're playing somebody like the Cowboys or the Packers or somebody like that have a lot of fans that travel anyway. But all of these transplants that live in a city like that, and so it sounds, it's your home field, but you're not quite. You listen to the crowd, you're not quite sure who's the home team here.
Well,
that's what I see happening if a city like Las Vegas gets a franchise.
I think you're right, and the same with hockey. There's a lot of East Coast people, big hockey meccas that are living down there in Vegas. They're retired. There is the 2013 population of Vegas is 2,027,828. That was in 13.
Right.
So big city, but I think you're right.
There are smaller NFL cities.
Sure, like Oakland.
But Oakland is San Francisco, and it's
but that's the Niners,
Northern California, and it's just it's got the surrounding population. That's a lot of people, but once you're out of Las Vegas, it's a couple of jackrabbits and a cactus. There's not that surrounding urban sprawl.
Well, but Vegas is probably the easiest place to get to in America. by a plane.
It's one of the top 5 busiest airports. I mean, they know how to get people in there.
I think the, because Vegas has always had that seedy reputation as just kind of being a degenerate town and stuff. The gambling influence. I don't get it. I mean, you could influence anybody anywhere, with a phone call. But I think that'd be great.
It is professional sports after all,
and it's fitting that it's the Raiders.
It's kind of one of those deals where you understand the NCAA. I guess you kind of understand the NCAA frowning upon it, but professional franchises, no. Yeah, it is the Raiders. That's the other thing.
I wonder what Al Davis is doing right now in his grave. He's probably going, Vegas. Boy, I wish Vegas, baby.
Just Vegas, baby.
7-Eleven. 7-Eleven.
Roll them. So, are there any other teams considering relocation? That was the only one that I'd heard.
Well, that was
the NFL.
I saw the question posed today was if the Raiders thing falls through, would San Diego be interested? Because that's right there too.
Right.
And if they're not going to build them
and I suppose the other consideration now, the Bay Area and the Los Angeles area is not real close together, but San Diego not too far away. You are back to that situation now where you have professional football in Los Angeles, and so would that affect? You're right. And of course the Raiders compete for love with the 49ers, so you got them clustered together there. But would the return of pro football to Los Angeles, would that affect one of those teams' decisions? I think it possibly could.
Yeah, it very well could. I think it more hinges on Oakland and San Diego are both trying to get new stadiums, and the county or the state or the cities are not they're not acquiescing to the billionaires that probably should be building their own stadiums anyways. Yeah. But I digress. Hey, Denny, we'll take our last break. When we come back, Steal of the Week, Stupid Athlete / University of the Week when we come back on Sports Talk Tonight.
Now back to Missoula's Sports Talk Tonight on KGVO.
Missoula Sports.
Every second of every day.
We are back. Sports Talk Tonight, brought to you in part by CHS Mountain West Co-op, Western Montana's source for Cynic's fuel, feed, fertilizer, clothing, and tack for over 75 years. And our new sponsor, Parkside Credit Union. We like to say yes. Grand opening this Friday at their Brook Street location next to Applebee's.
It is time for Sports Talk Tonight, Scott Gurnsey's Steal of the Week. The Steal of the Week brought to you by True North Steel, Western Montana's industry leader in quality, manufactured, and fabricated steel products. Yes, he teased you earlier in the show with another potential Johnny Manziel Stupid Athlete of the Week, but he did not even go close on the steal, so we're all anxious to hear what that might be this week.
Steal of the Week, Denny. The aforementioned NBA's Golden State Warriors stole that series from the Oklahoma City / Seattle Supersonics.
Seattle.
Now, for only the 10th time in NBA history, a team has come down from a 3-1 deficit to win in Game 7. Only 10 times in a playoff series.
Right.
And that would be the Golden State Warriors. Stole the momentum, stole the big shots, stole the last 3 games from Oklahoma City, and they advanced to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, congratulations to them. And Oklahoma City was playing good. They were playing some good ball. So they came back and knocked off a pretty darn good team, or a team playing really, really well right now. But had some trouble finishing a few of the quarters that cost them. But yeah, that was a heck of a comeback. And that was your Steal of the Week. Steal of the Week brought to you by True North Steel, Western Montana's industry leader in quality, manufactured, and fabricated steel products.
Oh, boy, Stupid Athlete of the Week.
There we go.
It wasn't Manziel. He's kind of getting boring. He got to do something really stupid to get, and I hope he doesn't, but, it's going to happen. I'd already gotten my Stupid Athlete of the Week, but I was reading further, and I found an interesting one. Corey Latimer, a wide receiver for the Denver Broncos, had a party this Memorial Day weekend, and, it gets out of hand. He calls the cops to say that his girlfriend has laid her hands on him, and he wants her arrested. So they come to the house, and that's what had happened. They arrest the girlfriend and load her into the car. And then in the process of running Corey Latimer's name, they find out that he's got a warrant out for a 2015 traffic violation, and he gets hauled down to jail. So, domestic violence is never funny or stupid, but stupid athlete of the week, Corey Latimer, whatever.
Speaking of the Broncos, what do you think of, how about Sports Talk Tonight, Mile High Stadium, or Sports Talk Tonight Field at Mile High Stadium? Because there's an issue with the naming rights right now of Mile High Stadium, because it's been Sports Authority.
Sure.
Sports
goodness.
Authority has filed for bankruptcy. They are, and we're talking about 400 some stores. I thought they were even bigger than that, and unfortunately, one of those stores here in Missoula. But I thought they were even bigger franchise than that. But they're going through bankruptcy proceedings. They're trying to sell Sports Authority. They're trying to sell the naming rights, and the city of Denver and the Broncos saying, "Hold on here, you owe like about $2 million in back naming rights fees since February. You're not selling anything you don't own." And so there's a little bit of controversy there.
Let's name it after the foreign company that buys them out of bankruptcy.
Okay.
And probably somewhere China or something.
Yeah.
Stupid athlete, stupid university of the week. That would be the Baylor University Bears.
Wow.
Down in Waco, Texas. It's kind of the second verse, same as the first. 9 cases of sexual assault reported against members of the football team. Apparently, the university and the powers that be kind of just turned a blind eye to a lot of these allegations and even intimidated one of the victims that came forward. They fired their head coach, Art Briles. They suspended their AD and demoted their chancellor, Kenneth Starr. The AD has since quit today. Kenneth Starr quit today. He is still a professor of the law school, but it was interesting. I listened to him say how sorry, and he his conscience told him that he needed to quit the deal, and they were making fun of how that was part of the problem. Just listening to some of these people talk, and the pretentiousness and the that it's not about you losing your job because you felt like you owed it to somebody. You owed it to somebody to listen to them the first time when they came to you when there was problems.
Yeah. Because the reaction there is not going to be what a sincere individual. He was so concerned and so upset by all this, he resigned his post. That's not going to be what the fan. That's not what the reaction's going to be. It's going to be, well, that's what you should have done.
Exactly.
Good riddance.
Exactly. It was
whether right or wrong, that would be the perception, the take on the typical fan or follower of the story.
The spotlight was being shifted from the problem to actually, woe was me. I have to give up this this chancellorship or whatever the heck it was. But anyways, my stupid university of the week.
Yeah. And while you don't have stupid university of the week part 2. I wouldn't call it controversy. It's not controversy. It's just kind of interesting. The swagger. All right, I'll use that. The swagger that just came out of Montana State University.
I thought it was a comedy routine. I mean, we have Costello. Where's Abbott? I mean, Costello being the new athletic director over there.
Yes.
They keep on saying his only claim to fame is that he was a part of raising $60 million for South Dakota State. Blah, 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 whatever. A little cocky. I suppose that's what they want to hear over there. But he's stirring the pot, but he doesn't really have a stick yet to stir it with.
Yeah.
Which was interesting.
Yeah. So.
Wish them nothing but the worst. Sorry. Is it almost football season?
I don't know. Have they started the electronic countdown on the days yet? I'm not even sure.
Oh, I'm sure that we don't have that at my house because I get fired up.
It would be less than. Would it be less than 90 by now? We're getting close. Maybe about 95, somewhere in there.
Oh boy, it's just.
We'll get the electronic clock on it here.
It is
for
just
Montana
around
Grizzly football home opener against St. Francis on, what is that, September 3rd, I do believe. So,
Just around the corner, Denny.
yep.
Right after Labor Day.
We will, and it's not like it's
before.
It's Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
It's not like they've got nothing going on during the summer because they still say stay busier than heck. But hopefully we will be able to get some of the football coaching staff in here to join us on Sports Talk Tonight during the summer months, and we'll get Jeff Griffin from the Missoula Osprey back in here, talk a little bit of Osprey baseball. Also, now you're on vacation next Wednesday.
I'll probably be calling you from Vegas.
That'd be fine. You are welcome to call. Don't call during trivia. Don't play trivia. You're not eligible there. But you can call at another time. And our scheduled guest is Justin Barnes, the new general manager of Grizzly Sports Properties, i.e. Learfield Sports, i.e. the company with 3 letters that put up the new Grizz Vision and all of that. But anyway, Justin coming in here just because we wanted to get better acquainted with him, and so the folks that listen to the program can get to know him a little bit better. But we anticipate that by a week from now, we should be, I don't know, I won't say it'll be a done deal, but we should be pretty close to finding out who the new voice of the Grizzlies, who the new announcer for football and men's basketball is tentatively going to be.
Boy, and
or he may be real tight-lipped and tell me nothing. I don't know.
yeah, you know what? I bet she's tight-lipped and tells you nothing.
Because and he may not have anything to tell at that point. You know, we just have to kind of wait and see.
I keep hearing. There's 2 trains of thought here. Gurns, are you going to go back and do the games? Or Gurns, you're having a new partner? Because a lot of people don't even realize I'm not even doing the games anymore, which is kind of funny. You know, interesting. Denny, when
I don't know, how could you leave me in all this entertainment?
I would never.
You could.
You
would miss this mirth so much.
You know, it's an interesting thing. People ask me why I'm not doing it anymore, and I'll just say this: Learfield didn't want me to be done. The university didn't want me to be done. I'll just leave that wide open, and you people out there can form your own opinions, because a lot of people out there don't know how that all went down.
Right.
But anyways. I'm sad I'm missing that next week.
They can still find you. I think we got our gig.
I love it.
They can still find you on the statewide tailgate show and the post game show with me. I think I will ask real nicely.
Don't screw anything up when I'm gone.
All right. I'll try not to.
No, and what a great time that is too, Denny. It's even when it's a little bit cold out there, it's still darn fun.
It'll be here sooner than you think, buddy.
It will. And I tell you what, we're going to have to do some studying, because I don't even know who's on our team.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the team knows who's on their team. So many new faces. Just an amazing job of recruiting. Getting a heck of a lot out of a little. You know, given how many scholarships and whatnot you had, so that's pretty good.
Great athletes, kids with character and smart, just like me and you, Denny.
Love to see that.
Hey, I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye, Gurns.
You'll be here, but I won't. Sports Talk Tonight, Gurnsey and Bedard.